But let's get it done. It's long overdue. This surface is still not smooth at all, but I'm just going to paint over it anyway because I just don't have any more time or energy to direct towards this fucking sticker they put in this bathroom. It's proved absolutely impossible to remove. So I'm going to take this out of here and put it over here for now. And I'll get paint ready for the walls in here. So did we decide we were going to paint the bathroom walls tan in there, or what did we decide?
The blue that you started with.
Oh right, that stuff. Coolio. I think that's this right here. Yeah, first snow. So we're gonna shake it up. All right, hi Cone Man. Thank you for coming to help me paint. Obviously, that's why you're here. Get this roller here. We're gonna just roll the shit out of that bathroom. When we're done with that, we can do trim, potentially. I'm not even going to put down a drop cloth in there. I'm just going to try to be as careful as possible and clean up whatever messes I leave behind, you know?
That's white.
I know, this is the light blue.
It is?
Yeah, the other one is called Angel Feather.
Oh, okay.
This is First Snow.
Okay.
It's a very light blue. So, you know.
That's nice.
Okay. So we're going to take this pan of paint in the bathroom and just get started right away. Get paint up on the walls as quickly as possible. Get this shit hammered up so we can sell this house. First you paint the house, then you sell it. Okay, there. So we're going to start up here in a difficult spot. We're going to have to get a lot of paint on there. Go. Okay. And we'll just continue along here. Definitely suboptimal, but it's gonna have to do. So yeah, this is, you know, the best looking paint job in the world. It's not going to be, especially up here where there's a sticker. But I can come back around after I'm done, try to peel off some little sticker pieces and touch it up. After I'm done enough to call the realtor to say, okay, come take pictures. Which is the next thing on the list. That's stuff to do, right? So, let's turn you this way so you can see a little bit better what's going on. This is pretty exciting stuff. Okay, so we're going to start over here now. Going this way. All across here. And right here. Okay. Let's go over here. As you can see, I have major problems getting this sticker off. And it's still causing problems now for me. But this will peel a little bit of it away. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I just try to cover it over with a thick coat of paint and hope for the best. Really all I can do at this point. I've got enough time, not accomplishing things. At this point, it's time to just get it done, even if it's just kind of half-assed. What's that? Oh, thanks, darling. Okay. I can start getting the ceiling now. I have to come along with a brush to get the crack. Fortunately, this is not very fumey paint, you know. Okay, getting the ceiling pretty good at this point. Painting is one thing where it does help to be tall. I can just reach up and paint the ceiling. I need to get more paint now. Put the rest of it in. It's all I'm gonna need though. Okay. 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 Get here. Oops, I'm dripping all over the place. Yeah, I need to get a little brush now so I can supplement this roller. But actually, let me just get some more of the main wall pieces here. Okay. Okay. I could get a brush. Well, let me do only 2 more swipes with this thing. Up along the top here. Okay. Oh! That wasn't what I wanted to do. Oh well. There. Now let's go get a brush.
Alright.
Yeah, I just fell back against the wet paint. with my back of my shirt. You see a paint spot on it?
Yeah, I do.
Not a big deal.
You hurt?
No, it didn't hurt. It just didn't want to get wet paint on me. Okay. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to wipe the counterpart clean at the end when I'm done with this little bit. It's going to make it an easier process for me, I think. So I have a typing session at 5. Means I've got a couple more hours left that I can paint before I have to go back home and do a typing session. Which I think should be plenty of time to get this bathroom done. Okay. Alright, Eric. Now you're being sloppy. No reason to be that sloppy. Okay. Now, let me break this. Here's a new vocabulary word for everybody you might not know. Druzy. Druzy refers to a certain kind of crystal that grows in a geode. So certain kinds of geodes are referred to as being more druzy than others. Maybe you didn't know that. Now you do. It's a big day for you. Learning things. Watching me paint. Big stuff. Big day. paint that. Why not? Okay. Okay. Druzy quartz.
What makes it druzy?
And just all the little bitty geocrystals. I'm not sure exactly.
Like extra, like, sparkly, right?
Yeah. Well, I probably should take this off, but all right, I'll get some tape for that. I'm gonna have to tape off the trim and stuff a little bit. It's unavoidable. Okay, tape, 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 tape. What did I do with the tape? Here we go. This will be easier than trying to do a clean by hand. There. Okay. And trim down here. Oi, oi, oi. Oi, 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 but that's all right. Okay. Now, let me get along here. A little bit more at the bottom. Okay. Okay. Where else do I need to get? Over here. Okay. A little bit more here. And then get along the shower here. Like, yeah. Duchess. I was just thinking about how back when I was in college, for at least one of the years I lived in college, I lived in this house with these two really cool dogs. I was just thinking how I couldn't remember their names. One of them was a Pyrenees mountain dog, and the other one was like a half Chihuahua, half wiener dog or something. I just remembered the name of the Great Pyrenees dog was Duchess. But I still don't remember the little dog. And the little dog loved me so much. For people that let her jump up and nip at their nose, that dog was constantly nipping at my nose. That dog even came over to my house when I wasn't living there to have for a sleepover when I was living in my apartment. And she and I had a wonderful time, that little dog. But I don't remember her name. I remember her owner's name, Jen. Anyway, I really loved those dogs. They were great little, well, one was a big ass dog, the other one was really little. Okay. I think I'm more or less done with the taping. And I can proceed with the painting. I guess I should tape this window, but whoever did this window last before the blue already painted over this a bunch, so I'll do it anyway just to be thorough, I guess. At least along the bottom. Okay. Now, just one more piece of tape there, and we should be good to go with the paint. Alright. Now let's get back to the painting. We'll get our brush here, come along here, all along the tape. Okay. Well, I'm a real stink pot today too. You can smell my pits from a mile away. Oh. Dum 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 dum. Okay. Oh no. But I got it, don't worry. I'm gonna do the 10 for the trimming here, I guess. So I'm not too worried about getting a little bit of white on the trim. I think I should go over that just fine. I'm just gonna have to go along here with a razor blade when I'm done. That's just all there is to that. Okay. So let's go over here now. In this corner. So I finished 8th place in this poker tournament I played earlier. Won about $120 actually after the entry fee, which was $11. It was an $11 tournament. A $10 tournament. You know, $1 goes to the site for hosting it. $10 goes into the prize pool. Anyway, it was a PKO tournament, which stands for Progressive Knockout. So I knocked out a bunch of people, and that's why I don't know, it was only $11 tournament. Over 10 times my money. I didn't even get particularly lucky or anything. I'm fresh on a bottle of speed, so I was playing super clean. Okay. Woo-wee. Okay. do. Put my hand all on the paint right there. This is too heavy. I'm gonna have to step in it though. Oh. Woo! Alright, let me get these walls rolled a little bit more. I see some kind of thin spots. And then we'll call it a coat. So, right up in here. I see little bits of the old blue sticking through, so get that covered up as best as you can. And get another roller's pull for this wall here. We'll also probably need another once over. Okay. Ooh-wee. All right. It seems like it's pretty good coat there. Okay. It's pretty well coated. But I still have some ugly spots where the sticker was, but that was always going to be inevitable because the sticker was so difficult to take off. Any other thin spots? Maybe up here. Okay, let's take a break. Let's take a breathe break. Let's just leave the pain here. Wow. I didn't take too long to get the whole thing coated.
No, it looks good.
I gotta do the trim. Probably touch up some of the white stuff too, but time for a break.
So I'm afraid of horses. That's nice, Caroline. I could use that, honestly. Because, like, I don't want to be intimidated by them. Because I know there's no real reason to. I overthink it. I know, show media. I know. I was saying that in Chinese astrology, they say for rats to stay away from horses. They are. They're majestic.
Are we doing tan trim in the bathroom too, or what? Or I guess we have to. The only other color we have is distinct enough, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, he did paint this wall too. Hero Lamb. Not today, but a couple months ago. It is nice that he doesn't need a ladder.
Yeah, this is one of those things that where it actually is advantageous to be tall.
And at concerts.
Oh yeah, and the concerts too.
Yeah.
And in the Chinese train station.
Mm.
When you're trying to figure out where your thing is, you can just look over the top of everybody.
Oh, that's nice.
You know what shorter people should do is bring a periscope with them so they can look above everybody's heads.
What?
Shorter people should bring a periscope with them.
A periscope?
Yeah, it looks up and out.
Oh, like
from a
in
submarine.
In submarines, yeah. Coachella's going on right now.
Oh yeah?
Mm.
Who's playing there?
I don't even know. It's a good question. I should find out. Does anyone know who's playing at Coachella? There's calculators. Put in Chinese zodiac birthday calculator.
I'm not gonna be able to do the trim in there until that coat dries.
No, you're not.
So I guess I'm gonna have to pour the rest of that light blue back in the can. And then maybe I'll get a little pressure washing done before we go back home. But I'm not gonna be able to finish that trim until tomorrow when I can tape off the wall that's dried. Otherwise it's just gonna make a mess.
You know best.
So you know, at the end of the day tomorrow, being able to call Zoe seems like a realistic proposition.
Okay. Lady Gaga was at Coachella. Oh, she did Shallow. That's the one that Kay, when she came over with Jared, one time she played it for me on the TV and I was like crying.
What did you play?
Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. It's from a movie. It was like the movie memories were coming back to me, and the movie's sad. So.
Did Bradley Cooper die?
Yeah.
He always seemed pretty fragile to me. Like he could die at any moment.
You have good intuition.
Oh, okay. Let me fire up the old pressure washer. See if I can accomplish a little something before we go back.
That's good, Hero Lamb. Wow, you fish almost every day, Caroline? Do you eat the fish that you catch? Yeah, it gives you an animal. Does anyone else know who was at Coachella?
Well, there's no hose here, so I can't pressure wash. I have to bring a hose over. I have to attach the hose to the pressure washer, right? I can't attach it directly to the spigot or else I only have like 5 feet of range, you know? So I can't pressure wash right now. I think what I will do is maybe try to poop a little bit more and then maybe move that one furniture or pour this paint back and we'll call it a day, I guess.
Okay.
At least an afternoon. I can come back after the typing session maybe.
Okay. Caroline says recently I have been. I'm excited to go fly fishing, but I have to wait a little longer for that, I think. I feel bad for the fish, and also I have problems with the ordination of when to let go and when to not, and when to stop it. You know, the steps of it, of like, and like doing the thing. Like, I have to practice that before actually doing it because it trips me up. But I have caught a fish before. So I have that. We let it go. Catch and release. Yeah, there's an act of fly fishing. It's a simple girl learning what the fish are biting on, the casting, lots to it, I think. Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's so many times where I've thought like something was biting and I didn't pull it. Casting, I'm like, okay, I can get it like mediocre to mediocre spot. But like the releasing and the stopping of it, I have trouble doing at first. I have to do it a few times to get the feeling of it. And I have to just like, I am apparently a triple doubter in Enneagram. My tri-type is like triple doubter. So like I tend to doubt. So like when I'm fishing, I tend to doubt like if I feel a bite. I think I would, Caroline. I would get good with practice. I do tend to do well with things the more I practice. It just takes someone who's patient to teach me, and Eric is patient, so. Lifeless expression. I have canned trout that my husband would catch. It's really yummy. That's interesting, simple girl. It does make me do the opposite. It does make me be like, okay, smile. So I guess it worked. Usually I'm just reading the comments so I don't have any expression. I don't need to like express myself. Explain myself, I mean. I can't express myself. I don't really like salmon. I'm not a huge fan of it. I like anything crunchy tuna in sushi. Any roll that has crunchy tuna is my thing. But salmon, no. Yeah, Hero Lamb, what's your animal? Caroline, you're a snake, right? Tuna pancakes does not sound good. Tuna cakes are fire. I'd have to try them. I would have to try. Hi, Mike from Wales. I'm Rachel from California. I am doing well. Thanks for asking. How are you? So, what are you worried about? What do you mean, Mike Hawk? We've met others from the Hawk family. I don't remember their names, but you got me saying it. Oh, Tony Hawk. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, Dixon Hawk. I also just tend to be a worrier. Like, it's not a part of my personality that I enjoy, but I do tend to worry. I mean, someone has to, right? Like, thanks, Mike. Yeah, like, I'm definitely, I'm glad that you said that I'm not the only one because it's true. Me too, Caroline. So, like, in Enneagram, there's 5 who, like, is a bookworm. They research everything they can about whatever it is that they have a fear about so they don't become fearful of it. 6 is outwardly worried about uh, things when they are feeling fear, and 7 ignores fear. Yeah, I do. That's funny you say that too. Like someone has to. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Yes, there's a band, Tears for Fears. I like Everybody Wants to Rule the World and Head Over Heels. I don't know. Did Hero Lamb leave the chat? You love lamb meat? Do you like heroes? I call them gyros. We call them gyros from the East. Thank you for explaining 5 better, Winston's mom. If I was to develop a strategy, I could argue while the other types do what they do. Head types. I was called a bookworm back when. Yeah, I associate um, reading up on things with 5s. Tender, soft, juicy, and spicy. I like them in gyros, like heroes. Thanks, Broccoli. I'm glad that we like project those good vibes. I'd say most of us are pretty good people here. Thanks, Winston's mom. That's really nice. I look like I have the world on my shoulders. Well, I mean, I kind of want to chat with ChatGPT. ChatGPT keeps on getting my skin tone wrong. It goes from neutral cool to neutral warm. It's like, what the heck? What am I? You're supposed to help with that stuff, ChatGPT. And I'm reading what's on the screen, Mike, but I appreciate your concern. That's just the natural state of INFJ. I don't want a shot of tequila. Wait, what's the natural state of INFJ? I feel like you have the world on your shoulders. It can be. Yeah, looking like they have the world on their shoulders. That's why, like when it comes to Frank James, like I wonder, like how he does it because he has no TE. I know he has a friend who, his brother edits, so that must make it much easier. One of the biggest claims I read about INFJs, says Winston's mom, in the typology community is that one never knows exactly where one stands with an INFJ. I'm not sure I buy into that idea completely, but I grok the idea. Well, like I like things to be defined. So I'm willing to go out on a limb to make sure that things are said and done. because I don't like the unknown. Need some holding bars or pillars. Caroline, it's so nice to have another INFJ in the chat. You're welcome, Caroline. Hug emoji. Did you want just one single fish? Fly guy? Yeah, so tell us, like, what kind of fish, what kind of water, how big of a tank? Well, most people think that I'm either sad or something's wrong, so I feel like an INFJ probably doesn't seem that serene. Thanks, I appreciate the comment, but like, I don't know. My smiles happen organically, okay? I don't like it when people tell me. But have a good day. Take care. God bless you too. Like my smile happens organically. I can't force a smile. Who has a good mechanical smile? Britney Spears. I don't know, this is the best one I could find. But she's known for having like a fake smile. Like, she's so, like, over it. He's painting. I have to go to the bathroom. Eric?
Yeah?
Can I use the bathroom?
Sure. Okay. You go ahead, I'm gonna get you down and actually down this because it's trying to touch any walls right now. Okay, time for you and your purse and stuff? Okay. Okay. Well, we are done for today. I got basically a second coat over the whole bathroom, so it's pretty well covered. Still need to do the trimming and everything. I have to wait for the main color to dry. I would maybe start some pressure washing over here right now, but I realized that there's no hose here. I need a hose to pressure wash. So, I guess that means it's about time to maybe pull a bong rip here and then go home. You need the hose there? No, not that kind of hose. Actually, HOSE. Kind of carries water from the spigot to the pressure washer. Well, I got quite a bit done today. I got the minimum I wanted to get done today done, which is I got the main part of the paint of the bathroom done. Now I'm kind of starving. I could go for frozen chicken pie. I think would be good. Iron Lion, hello. I didn't say hello to you yet. Nice to see you. Okay, so let me pour this paint back into the can. I'm gonna bury it in for touch-ups, so.
It looks really nice.
Thanks, girl.
You're welcome.
Right?
Yeah, we came to the conclusion that like it took us so long with it, like it would be a lot for us to take care of a house renting it.
Most importantly, perhaps in the duration of the time that we've had this, it's just been equity that's losing us money rather than gaining money.
Yeah.
Unless we sell it for enough more than we bought it for to cover the difference. But I don't think that's going to happen. So at this point, it's just like we're getting out of this because it was a bad decision on my part in terms of what to do with money. It wasn't I don't regret the decision. You know, it just, I had to learn from experience that I wasn't really capable of it, you know. Do you want to shut this down or do you want to keep it going?
It's up to you.
Well, we can take it with us home if you think you want to keep
Okay,
filming.
sure.
Okay. Throw this in the trash. And I guess I'll bring this flashlight back with me. Brought
What's
weed over
good?
here and I didn't even pull a single bowl.
Wow. Gonna have to when you get home.
Yeah. Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
I'll take that.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Ow. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. You're having a hard time with typing? You mean like with your fingers, or you mean like typology typing? Alright, for anyone who's not familiar with the drill, we are now driving back to the house where we live, which is just down the block. But we're going to be disconnected or between the Wi-Fi for about 60 to 90 seconds before we reconnect to the other Wi-Fi. So, if you see us buffering, don't panic, we'll be right back. Want some help?
Thank you.
Well, you're in the wrong hole. We had a little bit of a problem reconnecting there, but now we're done. Mm-hmm. Okay. Good job. Way to get some things done. Sup, hey girl, sup, hey girl, sup, hey girl. Got an hour and a half approximately until my typing session, which I'm not going to forget about today, since I forgot about it on Saturday. I'm going to change my desktop background pic. Now that the USC women's basketball season is over. Okay. There. Now I have a new background pic. To a sunset. I took it near my house. Now I'll go to the live stream, pull up the chat on the big screen. Here we are. Now we're going to pop out the chat. Oh, a witness is back. May we sow righteously that we don't reap corruption. True that. It's important to be righteous in one's dealings with people, because unless you're some kind of sociopath, whenever you commit wrongdoing, you pay very much in this lifetime with guilt and shame and regret. Again, unless you're some sort of evildoer. I'm fine, a witness. How are you? You remind me of a building that I went into yesterday. It was a building. If you're going to name your building Building A, call it Building A. Don't call it a building. Seems to me that seems a reasonable request. I only got 76 views as a short, though. Oh well. Such is the life we all lead together in this empty wasteland we call life. Trying to get this thing set up here, then I'll give you more of my attention. Okay, here we go. You know, oh, my name's Eric Strauss. You can know my last name as well. I refer to myself around here as Host Eric sometimes, but my name's Eric Strauss. 53 years old and ready to party. And this is Porter Churchill Murphy. Hey, how's it going, ladies? He's a pickup artist, empowered by his amazing fashion sense. Don't do it. Don't do what? My soul is very precious. Sure. Isn't everybody's soul precious? I wasn't planning on forsaking my soul anytime soon. Really, ever. Oh, party. Party is fine. Partying is not... God doesn't want me to not smoke weed. That's the deal I made with God when I quit drinking. He understands. You maybe don't, but he understands. Chicken jockeys, I wager. What are chicken jockeys? Is that briefs for chickens? Well, I'm 100% sure a witness that you aren't going to be informative regarding God's will for me more than I'm going to be informative about it. That's just common sense. Baby zombies are the most terrifying creature in Minecraft. Are they? Okay. They're pretty scary in Dead Space too. I'm not familiar with Dead Space. Is it like Headspace but for the dead? How do you know there's no common sense with spiritual discernment? Right. I mean, that's my point, is that one's faith-based relationships are based on belief in the face of contrary evidence or in the lack of evidence. And so accordingly, one's relationship with the divine is between that person and God and not anybody else. I wouldn't advise anybody to become a Christian. It's not my business what they do, right? Even though I'm a Christian. I find the magical thinking frame useful for me. No, I like it. But not for peace and relief. Maybe sometimes it gives me a sense of like, But basically, I don't turn to it, right? I'm a weed smoker. I'm not turning to weed. I'm not seeking something from weed that I can't find elsewhere. I'm a weed smoker. Well, Jesus gives me peace too. I don't have to not smoke weed to have peace from Jesus. It seems like you want to constrain Jesus how he can interact with me in some regard, which is odd. I don't want to stop smoking for a week. Why don't you stop eating sugar for a week? Why don't you stop eating fat for a week? Why don't you stop eating salt for a week? The answer is because you don't fucking feel like it, obviously, right? Why don't you stop breathing for a week? No, I'm not making a deal with you. I'm pointing out how ridiculous what you're doing is. You can't possibly know what's best for me. No matter what, right? You can't possibly know what's best for me. And just like I can't know what's best for you, I don't know if it's a good idea for you to not have sugar or fat or salt or whatever. You don't know if it's a good idea for me to not have weed. But you're pretending as though you do know. Or that it would be good for me if I were to quit. That I would somehow benefit from adopting your magical thinking frame, which is insane, obviously. That's not how it works. Okay, well, the thing is, you can love me or hate me, it doesn't matter. But if you want to be correct, you have to understand your own relationship with divinity as limited and how it can be informative regarding other people's relationship with divinity. Otherwise, you're just spitting in God's eye. A better way than what? I am a Christian, right? I quit drinking 11 years ago. I haven't had a drink since. And that's why I became a Christian. So, better way than what? Better way than drinking? Certainly it worked out that way for me. But the reason I'm so happy to not drink anymore is because I can enjoy my drugs so much. It's not because I can't quit the other drugs or something. It's because I like them and there's nothing wrong with that. We each have our own relationship with our various substances. Some people can handle alcohol just fine, and I can't. I'm not worshiping substances. I'm smoking them. You have a poor relationship with language. And to worship a false idol is not the same thing as to smoke pot. I mean, they're not even remotely equivalent at all. Sounds to me like you're worshiping a false idol called your own sense of certainty. Yeah, that's Rachel, my wife. We're married in holy matrimony. It's the best kind of matrimony.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. It's a good question, Caroline. I do pray to Jesus, and I've not gotten any indication that I could tell that God disapproves of me smoking weed.
Hi, witness. I am very blessed. Please don't call me sweetie.
I guess technically he didn't call you sweetie. He referred to you as a sweetie.
Sorry.
I don't mean to be. I don't mean to be
You're
nitpicky.
right. He didn't call me a sweetie, but like.
Okay, so if in fact God wants to address me about this weed smoking thing, then I will know when that happens, right? So shouldn't you go on God's time frame rather than yours? No, you didn't call her a sweetie. You referred to her as a sweetie. It's different.
Yeah.
But I appreciate your willingness to be to be cool about things that Rachel doesn't like. That's good.
Sorry, I just don't like to be referred. I mean, I know you were giving me a compliment.
It's a little condescending, It's fine. Whatever. You're cool, a witness. We're all cool with you here. I got no problem with you, even though you're wrong about the religion stuff. That's fine.
Yeah, I smoke weed too, and I'm a Christian.
You also drink more weed than I do too.
Yeah, I do.
You're a real weed drinker.
I think I want another one.
You should go for it. We got these teas that have weed in them. Rachel's quite fond of them. They make her super faded.
I'm glad you don't mind my super fadedness.
No, I think it's adorable, of course.
Aw. Do you?
Yes, of course, darling. I mean, you're an INFJ. You're supposed to be able to read people well. Can't you tell how much I adore you? I mean, and how unqualifiedly so I adore you?
Mm.
I'm sure you can tell. You just don't want to risk believing it in case you get disappointed or something.
Disappointed? How would I get disappointed?
Well, you know, you're always worried about, you want reassurance that nothing's going to change or whatever. So I think that if you were just reading this situation from a third party perspective, you wouldn't be worried about it at all. You'd say, well, let's do a perfect couple. It's just because of the subjectivity aspect of it.
God, I'm so sorry.
Well, you have nothing to apologize for. I'm just explaining things as I do.
Yeah, but how annoying.
It's not annoying, though. I like to explain things.
That's good.
She may have said she's a triple doubter, but I don't think that's correct.
I actually don't think that's right.
But
There's something.
like I'm avoid, confront, avoid. Rachel is um avoid, withdraw.
Avoid, withdraw.
I don't know if it's in that order, but you got withdraw is 6. Oh, 10. I would give both of you a gentle crab claw to the noses and a double ear turn. You know why you would go to tears? We would not go to tears. I would say, get your fucking hands off me.
Yeah, like why?
And definitely don't touch my wife. That's what I would say. I finished the bathroom and then I have to wait now because I can't do the trim until the main part dries. And Rachel, when you ask us a question to ensure your feelings are on point, is this considered part of one's love language? I think it's just part of Rachel's kind of anxious attachment style and part of NI versus SI. NI is aware of the inevitable changiness of things, whereas SI assumes things are going to persist as they always have, you know? So she feels anxiety because in previous relationships, just like, you know, people carry their previous relationship trauma into a good relationship and it impacts how they behave to some extent. But the reason why this is a good relationship is because even though Rachel may want to ask about whether whether or not she can really rely on this coupling to last, it's not because she has any doubt in it. It's because she she experienced bad things in previous relationships. Just like I worry about her cheating on me, even though it's insane, right? There's no reason to worry about her cheating on me. It's like literally impossible. Not to mention the fact that there's not one shred of vibe from her that suggests she's interested or open to anybody else's advances. Okay, witness, um, you have way too much faith in yourself, okay?
Depression.
Well, there are plenty of things to be concerned about, a witness. My point is that Rachel and I, as a couple, don't have anything to be concerned about. We nevertheless are human, and we have fears and insecurities and irrational anxieties sometimes, and that's okay. You know, Rachel's worrying will never be my inconvenience. I will always be happy to reassure her. Well, a witness, it's also the case that there are some people who are careful, careful Connors and some people who are careless Kevins, you know? I tend to be a bit more of a careless Kevin. She's a bit more of a careful Connor. But the thing is, those are just expressions of our personality. And Rachel's very much about being safe, preserving what's hers, less risk takey. Some of that may stem from an environment that wasn't very ontologically friendly to her. Her family didn't seem to understand her very well and kind of pathologized her and did some, you know, toxic stuff. But the thing is, Rachel and I both know that we aren't damage free. You know, we've lived decades and you get some things and dents in you. But the thing is, what this relationship is doing for both of us is repairing us and making us feel safe and comfortable and loved and everything that a relationship should do. But it just takes time, to get over stuff from the past.
I did feel bad, because I remember one time you expressed that the next person you dated, you didn't want to have any issues, and I was like, oh shit, I mean, I do.
A witness, are you not hearing our words? Do you not hear us already explain to you that we are both Christians?
Yeah.
It's like when there are a certain class of people who just don't listen, right? Who just cannot hear what I'm saying and take it at face value. You want to question the legitimacy of my relationship with Jesus because you see certain behaviors that you don't do, right? And you say, in my a witness's relationship with Jesus, these behaviors are indicative of some distancing between me and Jesus. Well, that's fine for you, but the idea that you would project that onto me and presume to know what's best for me and Rachel is completely insane, especially after we've already told you multiple times we're Christians. You didn't need to call her, you just wait half an hour. So the other thing that is worth remembering is that a spiritual or faith-based frame is not the right frame to use for everything. It's only the right frame to use for some things, right? You might say, well, I want to live God's will, not my own. In which case, you got to pay a lot of attention to God's will. But I see it more nuanced. I see it as I need to live, God's version of Eric, right? It's not God's will for me, which is distinct from my own will. It's that when I'm right, I'm not, God and I are in agreement with everything I'm doing. And when I'm not right, I can tell immediately because I am very prone to guilt, shame, anxiety. And I'm a sinner like anybody. I currently am still feeling bad about how I tore my psychiatrist to pieces last time we talked. I was thinking about it earlier today, how I still feel bad about it. I don't drink anything, dumbass. Are you? At this point, I think it might be trolling, but I don't know. I think, you get real Christians who are on their pink cloud. Maybe they're fairly recently turned to Christianity or something like that, and I get a little wild-eyed. I don't need your advice about Jesus, actually. Thank you, though. Jesus and I managed to do just fine without your interference. No, it's non-alcoholic. 0.0. I don't drink alcohol. I've told you that already. You're not listening to me. I don't think that's the case, though, Winston Mom. I don't think a witness is trolling. I think a witness has not encountered this this level of nuance with spirituality before, and it just doesn't really know what to do with it. Jehovah's Witnesses are like a cult, kind of not a good organization to affiliate with. They're one of those groups that, like, if you're not Jehovah's Witness, like, let's say I were to become Jehovah's Witness and Rachel were not, then I was supposed to not hang out with her anymore. It was like that kind of cult place,
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they are precious souls, but that doesn't change the fact that their cultish ways are evil and wrong. Nobody should be separated from their family because they don't share a singular adherence to Jehovah's Witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
It's just stupid, dumb, and culty and wrong. Am I seeing The Rapist? No, I haven't even heard of that. Is that a movie? It sounds depressing. I don't want to see it. You're so weak right now. Your love is abounding for us. Okay. Is that weakness? I don't know. Does love abounding for us constitute weakness? I don't think it's either weakness or strength. It's just an emotion, right?
Wait, is it abounding for me and Eric?
Yeah.
I mean, oh. Well, that's nice.
But yeah, says, I believe in love at first sight, but science calls it an erection. Well, yeah, I mean, there's lots of things that are precious, a witness, and our relationship is precious,
Mm-hmm.
and, our relationship with the channel is precious, too. But I guess it's not that uncommon for us to engage in preciousness that it surprises us. So I think it's fair to say that Rachel and I are both now very happy. I was depressed for a while after my parents' death, dealing with a lot of guilt and stuff. But that went away, and now I feel great again. I feel like myself.
I feel not over it.
I feel not over it.
Mm.
Are you depressed?
I don't think so. No.
So, in what way do you think it's still affecting you?
I just don't feel normal. Although, like I said, like I do live in this like happy bubble, and like that's why it was so shocking to hear that you were not feeling yourself.
I mean, I think this is the first time you've ever felt normal because you're free to be yourself instead of being ontologically oppressed by the people around you all the time.
Mm-hmm. I do think before I speak, some people have a problem with that. I don't know why.
I generally think as I speak, but I don't really need to think before I speak usually because I'm not surprised by the question, I guess you could say.
Common side effects? What is it on show media? Easygoing fun sounds good.
Easygoing fun on Adult Swim. Well, I mean, I don't feel defensive. I am defending against your attacks, but that's because you're trying to position your subjective relationship with God as prescriptive for everybody else. So obviously, I'm not going to put up with that without pushing back because I'm saying it out of love too. One thing that I can provide the world is correctness. I can't provide a lot, but I can provide correctness. So I do what I can, And in this instance, I think it's fair to say that you need correcting. Yeah, well, it is a little bit, but that's fine. You can be as gay as you want, a witness. You get it. Sin causes us to be defensive. Well, I agree. I don't like, it doesn't cause me to be defensive. It causes me to feel very guilty and ashamed of myself and hate myself. I'm much more objective than to be defensive, right? When I'm doing wrong stuff, I hate myself intensely because I'm thoroughly objective,
Yeah, you are.
And it's not pride, and it's just me understanding the different attentional manners. Because my tool function is objective deliberation, my weak spot is subjective deliberation. Well, sometimes we do lash out, but I'm not lashing out. I'm not lashing out at you. I'm just responding to what you're saying. And if I were to lash out at you, then that would mean somehow I'd I'd be mad about something else, but taking it out on you. I'm not taking anything out on you. And pride is not what you're critiquing here. What you're critiquing here is weed smoking. And then you're trying to segue into saying that the reason I'm not agreeing with you is because of my pride. But that's not the case. It's because you're wrong, and you couldn't possibly know what my relationship with God has to inform me, the ways in which it informs me.
I like to think that Jesus Christ smoked weed.
What do you call a chickpea that's fallen in love with another chickpea? A homosexual.
Mm-hmm.
That's I mean, I don't lash out in general. I'm quite peaceable. Like I'm rarely mad anymore. I used to be rather angry when I lived in Los Angeles and had to battle with people all the time to get things done the way they ought to be done. You know. Around here though, it's heavenly. I never have to get mad at anybody. I did get mad at my psychiatrist. It was his fault, but I nevertheless feel guilty about it because I'd like to be better than that, you know?
I'm telling you, you probably smoked weed.
Jesus?
Yeah. Like
Well, I mean, he converted water into wine for a bunch of people, so obviously he wasn't
Yeah.
he wasn't a teetotaler.
No. He wouldn't be.
And if I had been drinking a glass of wine, a witness, would that have been okay because Jesus converted water into it?
Right. Whereas
Whereas you had a big problem when you thought that was a beer? I mean, you gotta step back and wonder where the pride is here. Is it me who's being proud, or somebody else? Well, he pissed me off. He he told me to go see another doctor to get a prescription that he should have prescribed. Okay, well, you obsessed. You be a Bible worshiper if you want. I'm not obsessed with the Bible, so I'm not worried about pride. Pride is not a problem for me, right? I tend to be as accurate as I can in myself descriptions and self analyses, and I'm my own harshest critic. You know, so pride's not an issue for me. When I do get proud, I find that it comes immediately.
Mm-hmm.
The fall comes immediately after.
Same.
It's just like bam. Oh, you got proud, and now you failed utterly, and fell on your face, and that's shit. Good for you, Eric. So the thing is, you will hear me say things like "I'm correct" or "I understand the process of being correct," etc. But that's not me being proud. That's accurately describing reality. I'm unusually good, remarkably good, an absolute outlier at being correct. It's a gift God gave me, as well as experience. Because I was a debater in high school and I'm a professional debate coach as an adult. And not anymore, really. I'm retired. But um, accordingly, I mean, I think that if you're saying I'm a prideful man, you're wrong. A witness. I have a tendency towards self loathing and self derision that is vastly bigger than my tendency towards pride. Like I said, if you hear me saying things that you think are proud things, those are just correct things. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, what an individual has to be careful with depends on what that individual's problem is. Okay, like I can't drink alcohol because I have a problem with that. If I drink it, I become a drunk, right? But I can successfully gamble without it becoming a big problem, right? I go every once in a while. On balance, I've won money gambling since I moved up here, but sometimes I lose a couple $100 and leave. Um, Other people have a problem with gambling. So for people who have an addiction to gambling, then the correct advice might be you need to abstain from gambling. The correct advice to me is not the same thing because I don't have a problem with that. Correct advice to me might be you need to abstain from alcohol, Eric. That's true. But what you're not getting is that you don't get to you don't get to determine what's best for other people on a religious ground because that's a subjective magical thinking frame. Your interpretation of God's will and mine are equally valid no matter how different they are. And obviously, neither of them is valid for the other person. I don't think he's a troll. I think he's in the pink cloud of having been reborn or something. The thing is, you should remember, a witness, criticism kills love. People don't particularly like being criticized.
That's pretty. When did you take that?
A while back, I got it from Google Photos. It changed my background because it's no longer USC women's basketball season.
Makes sense.
But you know what? I want to just say right now, even coming into next season, at the beginning of the year, without Juju Watkins, we are going to be the team to watch out for.
I think
because,
so too.
We fought hard against UConn, even though they beat us by double digits without Juju, right? But we still played them much better than either of the other number one seeds played them.
Really?
Yeah, they smoked South Carolina in the championship game, and they throttled fucking was it Texas? Who was the other number one seed? Yes, we read your comments about enjoying our evenings and you not wanting to cause strife and dissent. That's fine. We appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your evening too. I don't find disagreements to be disagreeable. So I can disagree with you and correct you and not find it to be annoying. Other people might find it annoying, but not me. Okay, a witness, like I said to you already, you're absolutely welcome here. We like you. We think you're fine. You're just wrong and being corrected. That's all. I'm not trying to tell you to be different or believe different. I'm just telling you that if you're telling me your ways and beliefs are appropriate for me, then you're wrong. Let's go look at the pond/fountain, shall we? I appreciate the fact that you're here. It's like we don't have a ton of people here, and you're one of them. So that's nice. Let's go look at the fountain. Maybe do a little bit more poking around. Is it 5 o'clock? What time is it? 4 o'clock. Okay. I have a typing session at 5 o'clock I can't forget about. So my fountain/pond is still going fine, but it's dropped. The water levels dropped quite a bit, so I'm going to put more water in. I'm hopeful that there's not a leak or something, but it's going to lose a fair amount of evaporation because it's got that waterfall thing going on. So I'll fill it back up. I'm hoping some of the neighbors' frogs will come over here and take up residence in our little fountain pond thing here. I'm going to cover up all of this tarp so you can't see it at all, ideally. Hmm. It's full now. Let me bring this over here and water the plants while I'm at it. Mm.
Let's try type archetype. Doesn't really go into 9, like the combination 9, 6, 4.
It doesn't talk about 964?
It doesn't really.
I mean, I think your archetype is... It's like the aspirational feeler almost. Like, maybe I want to solve problems. Aspirational kind of T and those kind of values. And I think what you really want is to feel. You know, ENTPs, a little less so than INFJs, but both can be kind of jaded, you know?
Yeah.
Because of a lack of subjectivities.
You make me feel love.
I know you do. I know I do. I'm saying I think the reason I'm saying I see you as kind of feelings aspirational is because of how much relationship focused you are once you have the right relationship. Probably even before you have the right relationship, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Great Gatsby turns 100 on Thursday.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
Yeah. Like, my dad sends me articles and stuff about it, but like, I can't read it. I can't read it. I can't read stuff about the Great Gatsby again.
Put you in a bad headspace.
Yeah.
Good in there. Getting most of the tarp covered. Still see little bits of it here and there. You know, I don't really have to add very much water to this every day for it to keep going, so I guess that's, it's good enough regardless, I guess I could say.
It looks like Coachella sucks.
What's that?
It looks like Coachella sucks
Oh, yeah?
in terms of, yeah, like, artists.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, who really wants to go see a whole day's worth of bands anyway?
Of what?
Who wants to go see a whole day's worth of bands anyway?
Celebrities. You think it's cool?
I like live music, but not for that long.
No, not for that long.
Well, it's certainly coming together as far as hiding all of the carp.
Sometime I'll message my sister and see if she'll get you to type her.
Okay. She's not gonna like what you hear, though, probably.
Hmm?
She thinks she's an INFJ, though, so she's not gonna like what she hears from me.
Maybe you could do it with her boyfriend. She wouldn't mind as much.
Yeah, maybe we talk about how creative and intuitive INFJs are, so that'll help.
I mean, ISFJ.
I mean, INFJs, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
That will help.
All right. At the moment, I don't really see any tarp. Oh, there's a little bit right there. Looking pretty darn good.
I like the sound of it.
Me too.
You've been a doer chin today.
Hmm?
You've been a doer chin, like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've done that a lot. I gotta eat some food. Well, Cameron really helped a lot with that little fountain thing.
Yeah, he did.
I would say it's a fountain. Half fountain, half pond.
Fountain.
I think I might, at some point here. Do you want anything to eat?
No.
I got a sweet and sour chicken. And then make kind of like a back shelf as like an overflow basin. It doesn't have any tarp in it. It just has like rocks and clay on the bottom. And then there'll be like a shelf of a muddy area for frogs to have that's not, it's more stagnant-y, but still not stagnant. Am I a wealthy man? No, I wouldn't say I'm a wealthy man. We're comfortable at the moment, you know, but life's expensive. I'm going to be getting a job one of these days here relatively soon. I think I'd like to work at the casino. But, you know, it's not the only place I could work. It doesn't really matter to me. I could work at McDonald's for all I care. Pays $20 an hour in California.
Mm.
Don't listen to show media. Not true. I have no relation whatsoever to Bill Gates. Am I a belchy man? Not usually, sometimes.
When I drink beer, I belch. Tend to belch.
That's pretty much everybody, I think. No, I'm not related to any famous rich people at all. Yeah, I live in California. We live right near Yosemite, California. Well, you could be relationally close and physically distant, or vice versa. You know, we live in Mariposa, California. Out here, kind of in the woods, in this neighborhood called Mariposa Pines. We went to the flea market at Lush Meadows the other day. Lush Meadows is another neighborhood in this area that is, it's more, well, they have like a homeowners association, so they're more meowing. I don't know if she felt the earthquake. I wanted to actually text her a link to this song I wanted to check out. But I doubt she felt it. 5.2 in San Diego. 5.2 is not a strong earthquake. No, we didn't buy any fleas. I did buy PCN, Porter Churchill Murphy. But he didn't have these fly duds on. That's why it was only $1. If he had these fly duds on, he probably would have been at least $10.
Do you want me to message the
Yes, please. That'd be wonderful. Shit, that ain't gonna happen. What ain't gonna happen? Hey, you talking to me? I'm Porter Churchill Murphy. And yeah, I'll bang your bitch. Because I'm a PUA, a pickup artist. Porter Murphy, nobody's impressed by that. I go by my full name, Porter Churchill Murphy. Oh, thanks. Thanks for listening, Mom. I hereby pat myself on the back.
Thanks, Winston's mom.
And of course, Cameron, using the same thing I used for Porter's pants, made a dress for this girl.
It's good because Tiffany stole her dress.
Yeah. I know, finally I'm not naked anymore. That horrible girl stole my dress. I just tell her, you lost her and I found it. It's a first name. Porter's a first name.
Yeah, we actually saw a baseball player with the name Porter.
Yesterday,
yeah. What is the song again?
Making me nervous. Here I am, Tiffany. Best person ever is Tiffany. Hello, everybody. I'm Tiffany with an I. Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. Listen, old man, you need to just shut your mouth. I'm talking to these people. I have all those letters. I have all of the letters in me. And I and all of the letters. Yeah, listen, you're just jealous of my robot arm, Winston's mom. Yeah, Winston's mom, I think Tiffany's right. I think you're just jealous of her robot arm. Do you know that I can crush a full-size minivan with my robot arm? It's true. And, you know, she also is very pleased with, proud of her boyfriend. My name's Perry. Your name's First one. Huh. Give me a hug. Okay, Tiffany. I love you. Let's not get all mushy now, jeez. So, you know, good for Tiff. Jukansky Gold likes to send me mail. free things. Like, let's see what they sent me this time. Free room, Sunday through Friday, up to 2 nights. 2 $10 match plays. Really, 6 total for covering all of May. This is for May, this mailer. Coming soon, California Crafts. Cool. That's fun. I don't like bubble craft. I don't understand it. I can't figure out how to play it. I need somebody to explain it to me. I don't want to look up video and figure out like that. I want someone to answer my questions. I want like a dealer to answer my questions. Then I'll be able to play crafts. P-Long. What'd you get in your box? Oh, some other boxes.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't quite get about, I've taken so many crafts today, Pretty Cat. I've been pooping up a storm.
You have.
I've taken like 4 poops today. So, we could type Police Tiffany because she has a channel, you know. She's in Mindy's Club. Arthur Morgan or uncle? I'm not Arthur Morgan. I'm not your uncle because I don't have any brothers or sisters. I'm what they call an only child. My daughter is also an only child, and my mother was an only child. So, my daughter's the only child of an only child of an only child. My dad, however, has a sister. But, you know, the Strauss jeans, they're just banking on Delilah because Aunt Evelyn was, what these called barren. I guess they don't use that term anymore. Infertile. If I had had a sibling, what would I have preferred? I don't know. I never wanted a sibling. I always knew I didn't want a sibling. I told my parents that early and often. I do not want any siblings.
It's a good thing they listen to you.
Yeah, well, my dad, they just told me, you don't have to worry about it. Your father got a vasectomy after we had you.
Oh, wow. How old were you when they told you that?
I don't remember. Fairly young, I guess. It wasn't until later that I thought it was funny. Like, it's like, oh hell no! If this one is this much trouble, we are not having any more kids. I imagine I was a lot of trouble. I mean, I don't think I was trouble as a little kid, really. I was trouble like hurting myself, clumsy kind of trouble, but I burned my hand when I was like 9 months old. I cracked my head up when I was like 2 years old from being one of those run around round things. I came from the same place I go into, a woman's vagina. But I guess probably a sister would have been better than a brother. I don't know. I can't conceive of what it would be like to have a sibling because I never had one. And
Yeah, that's really difficult.
I just don't think that you know what it feels like to have a sibling without having one. Kind of one of those things you have to SI experience. So I remember telling my friend Chris Morrow when we were teenagers that I thought his sister was cute, and he like got annoyed at me or something. I was, huh? Like what a strange relationship you must have with your sister. You don't seem to like her very much, but you also seem like protective of her. What is this relationship? Well, it's a sibling relationship that I will never know. When is the neighbor lady coming again for jamming and drinking? Well, um, now that we are on point, so to speak, on Adderall, it's relatively likely that I'll invite her or them over for dinner reasonably soon.
Who?
The neighbors.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Cat asked if we were going to have them over again. You strongly dislike the idea of someone being closely related to you genetically? Well, you can't have but have parents, man. I'm sorry.
I liked, like, being a big sister.
They can't just make you out of dog genes and fairy dust, okay? You have to have two parents breed to make you. That's how it works. I like to give people information about the birds and the bees.
It's weird, like, me and my brother were so close, but, like, I don't know. It changed.
You grew apart.
Mm-hmm.
Our siblings are worse than parents because they're 100% relations because they both have you have the same parents, both of you. I see. You make a good point there, Rand. I hadn't thought about that.
Well, it's like, it's so annoying.
Rachel's very unlike her siblings, it seems like.
Yeah, I am. Like,
maybe she's the mailman's kid.
I used to think I was adopted.
I don't think
I'm not.
I'm just joking.
No, I just happen to be more like the La Pelosa side than. Although my grandma La Pelosa was definitely an ISFJ, and my sister, if she types as ISFJ, would technically be more like my grandma than I even am.
I told my son about the birds and the bees. He then told me about the postman and my wife. Rats are always the black sheep of the family, says Show Media. Well, she is a rat. She is kind of the black sheep of her family.
Yeah. My Aunt Jen is a rat too.
I think you're less of a black sheep now than you used to be. Because they can't oppress you anymore.
No.
A twin would creep you out. I wouldn't mind. If we're going to have a sibling, I'm going to go back to that previous question. What kind of sibling would I want? I'd want an identical twin if I had to have a sibling.
Would you want to have that, like, mind connection?
Well, I mean, I don't know what it would be like, but one imagines that if you had an identical twin, you could get up to all kinds of trading places hijinks. You know, today you take the history test and I'll take the science test. Like that, you know?
Yeah.
If you dress the same, have the same haircut.
I knew twins who were identical and they just liked the same things. They took the same classes. Like,
I knew identical twins who looked quite different. They were, by the time they got into college, one of them was quite a bit chubbier than the other one. And they were quite different from each other too. Kendall was a ditz. Jen was kind of worldly and street smart or something. Kendall was the one who, when we were playing Trivial Pursuit one time, she read the answer as a golf question, and she read the answer, Chai Chai Rodriguez?
Yeah.
So that was Kendall. Kendall was really not the brightest girl in the tool shed, but that was fine. She was a sweetheart.
I can relate.
You're not ditzy like Kendall was ditzy. You sometimes say some ditzy things, but she was actually ditzy. It wasn't just something that sounded ditzy. There's nothing wrong with being ditzy anyway, you know. You do a song. Okay, well, put it in here, and I'll click it, and we'll listen to it, and we'll see. You could share the same boyfriend. If you were identical twins, presumably, no matter how identical you were, your significant other would be able to tell if you switched out with your twin, presumably.
I think after time.
Of course, if they were switching them the whole time, then you just assume your girlfriend had a wider range of expression of personality than most people. I gotcha with Liza Minnelli, huh? Okay, Liza. Let me mute this for a sec. All right, I'm listening to it. That one's not going to make the cut, Winston's mom. I do think it's kind of amusing because it's Liza Minnelli, like, she's just kind of inherently ridiculous in a kind of a harmless way, but I wouldn't want to listen to that song. Well, we got 28 minutes left till my last night I was offered a threesome by two hot twins. Sex with Jessica was great, but Jeremy was a pain in the ass. Those aren't real twins, okay? Those are fraternal twins. Who's the painter? I painted. I'm done. I painted the bathroom over at the other house. And, oh, I forgot about my chicken and rice.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have to wait for it to dry before I do the trim. And I was going to do a little bit of pressure washing while I was over there. Then I realized I didn't have a hose over there, which I need to do the pressure washing. So I'll bring one of the hoses from over here. But speaking of hoses, I left the water running on the plants. I need to turn that off too. Okay, I turned off the hose after I did a little bit of watering. Get my food, get my fork, bring my mouth for chewing and swallowing purposes, and then we're ready to go. Every day I get a check, I don't complain about it. There's a hole in dear Liza, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in dear Liza, dear Liza, a hole. There's a hole in dear Liza, so fuck it, so fuck it. There's a hole in dear Liza, so fuck it, a hole.
I'm gonna make a thank you call.
Did you send Delilah that song?
No, I didn't.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Just, um, you could just say your dad asked me to send this to you. We both think it's a great song or something like that. It is a great song. I'll put a link here for everybody. I could probably even play it in the background a little bit. I'm imagining Brad Sex wouldn't be too upset at me.
Your dad. What?
Asked me to send this to you. We both really like this song. Or you just say he really likes this song if you prefer.
No, it'd be both.
Please don't have ace 10. Oh. What's for dinner at the Strauss House? I'm having sweet and sour chicken. It is the flavor of the Orient. If you have pick an ace 10, I'm going to be really annoyed. Oh, I only needed 110. Fuck that. I hit a set of 9s on the flop and river's a straight. How frustrating. What's my favorite dish? Well, when I go to restaurants, I usually get ribeye steak. But anything in the world. Yeah, I mean, that's what I get when I want to indulge myself and get something fancy. I'll get ribeye, or every once in a while maybe I'll get swordfish, but I feel guilty about eating it. A nice bone-in ribeye is fantastic. Yeah, you can't do much better than that. And I agree, bone-in ribeyes are better than boneless, but boneless are fine too. I'm happy enough to eat that. I'm kind of a mixed bag, right? The bone-in tastes a little bit better because the flavoring from the bone, but you end up paying for a bigger steak that is not really that much steak because it's got a big bone in it. Tomahawk, huh? That's a good choice. Can't go wrong with that. Let's see what's going on in the world of sports today. Currently, the Giants are beating the Phillies 6-3. The Dodgers come on at 7. Let's check out my fantasy baseball teams. How we're doing. I won the last matchup, but in the current matchup, I'm losing 11 to -2. It's because two of my three outfielders. Well, it's a day off for a lot of teams today, so I had to move some people around. But anyhow, I do have Freddie Freeman and Max Muncy playing in the evening time, and I've got Willie Castro from Minnesota playing 440. So I could catch up. And this is a whole. You play each opponent for a whole week. I'm currently 1-2 on the season with Eric's excellent team. With the second team, I believe I'm 0-3. Yeah, 0-3. I lost the last matchup 203 to 156. But estimated return. Okay, well, he might be in the limit today. I don't know. I don't have anybody else to play DH who's playing today because Brent Ricker has the day off. So, and even if you don't play today, you're going to have to be the DH. I got 19 minutes for my typing session. There's plenty of time to eat the rest of this food. Go smoke a cigarette with the guys outside. All right, let's go enjoy a nice leisurely cigarette together before we part ways, as I need to actually do a little bit of work for 1 hour. Well, now I have to work at 5. I have to type somebody at 5. I don't know. It depends on what the person decides. All right. At the end of it, I always ask them, would you like me to share this with you privately, or are you comfortable with me publishing it? And then whatever they say, that's what I do. Ah, the peaceful fountain of water. Trickling along. Sure would help a lot. Miggity maggy maggy moo. I'll dig a little trench here for this. And then run it right along there. I mean, I could put rocks over here, no problem. I'm gonna have to drive out to the wilderness and get more rocks even. $15. Good. I just need to dig a little trough for this here, and then I could put a little bit of rocks and clay over it. Hide it nice and easy. Got 11 minutes left. Okay. That's good enough for now. I got about 7 minutes. Time for me to go in and type somebody. Okay. Good enough. For now. Let's go inside, wash our hands into the stream, and get to typing. And I just say it's been a real pleasure and an honor having you here with me today. And every moment we spent together is immeasurably precious. So thanks, Jay. Hey, Mariel. My children are 26. She's just one of them. See y'all later. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.